Rand has to meet, so he's going to meet Aviendha, it looks like,
Right.
before he meets Elayne. Unless we're totally
Yeah.
off here, and then Rand's going to go back to the
I
tower.
just don't know.
Why
There's
would
no
you ever
way.
take the dragon?
No.
Why? Will they ever do that? Do you think they would, like, because that's a big thing, right? Like, Rand never goes to the tower, and
are you okay? Are you okay with that sort of reversal where maybe Rand sort of falls, hooks up with Avienda and then later gets with Elayne? I mean, that's kind of like a big part of it where Avienda feels like bad, right? That like, because she
ooh,
feels like Rand is promised to Elayne, and then they
yeah.
hook
So
up,
yeah,
and she's yeah.
how do you do that? Because that lingers for a long time with Avienda. Like, either he goes there, let's say Rand goes to the IO waste, and then Avienda was actually already sent over the spine, was actually searching for He Who Comes with the Dawn and the whole situation. So maybe she hooks up with him later. But why would we even be tracking her throughout the series if she's not with one of the members of the main cast? It feels like you
Yeah.
have to lump these people together in groups to kind of move them through. So that's a good
That's how you
point.
do it.
They
That's how you
might
do it in
flip it.
television. Yeah.
Yeah, but they might actually
I see. I
flip
don't know
it
that
to
I
where
like
Rand
that.
is going to go hook up with Avienda, and then I don't know.
I guess the only other way you could do it, because it just to make it sort of work in television, is maybe you have Rand and Avienda sort of liking you, like, okay, there's that sort of like tension where they feel like they don't like each other, but it's just one of those things, like, all right, you guys just need to bang it out.
Right.
And then you'll be fine. And then it feels like maybe they get close to like hooking up, and then they don't. And then he goes and he's like sort of with Elayne, and Avienda's sort of like looking there, longing and realizing, like that's like good television. I mean, that's the
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Is it true to the books? No, but is that good television? Yes. That's the kind of stuff where
Right.
you're watching episodes waiting for it to happen. I mean, because
Well,
it sort of has to be good television too. And then that would still, just real quick, that would still give you that sort of just like triangle, which I guess ultimately turns into a what? Like it's a, I don't know, square, four I mean, how do
it's a circle. It's a freaking
it's a
circle.
circle. It's a circle.
Yeah. 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 No, I get you. Yeah, you want good TV setups. I mean, season 1 did that, where we're all sitting there thinking they had an element of who is the dragon, right? Like, that was the big question. So I guess another thing we could think about is, what is that big question? What's the big guessing game, or what's the mystery or the allure or whatever in this series? It could be like, if I were them, if I were if in charge of this thing, I would start to sprinkle in some serious Dark Friend stuff. Make
Yes.
people like, who can we trust, who can we not trust? Because the scariest moment for me was like in season 1, when I thought Lanfear was there and we hadn't noticed it. Because again, they can shift their form, that they can hide in other forms
Right.
so that might have been Lanfear or another Forsaken just in disguise.
As Dana, the innkeeper.
Yeah, do something like that, where it's where you've got us guessing, who can we trust, and maybe someone who totally seemed like an innocent there to help us, maybe even disguised as one of our main characters. I mean, you can do some trippy stuff to really fool people, and bring the Forsaken and the like Dark Friends up in terms of importance and stuff. So
Yeah, just one quick comment here. The green Xeno asks, "Do we know who is cast as Aviendha?" Yes, we do. Her name is Aola Smart. I hope we're pronouncing that correct.
yeah,
Here's the actress who's gonna be playing. I will say at first when I saw, and I actually think this picture, which is just her Instagram picture, it's not like her official headshot. This picture to me is a better picture than the one that they used. Not gonna lie.
yeah,
This was the one. This is just from her Instagram. I just have her Instagram pulled up here. This was the one that they used, if it loads. And let me pull that comment down. But I immediately saw it and I was just like, that just does not feel like Aviendha to me. Because all the fan art, just to be fair, all the fan art is like this like red-haired, like woman.
yeah.
But then it's like, first of all, I need to see her in costume and everything. But then I started scrolling down her Instagram more, and I was like, okay, I could definitely see, like Like this is like just her sort of like headshot, but then you see
Yeah.
some more of her other, like this one. I think I'm like, okay, I can see that.
Right. Yeah, she's got
This
that look,
picture's
and like the
right.
look in her eyes, real kind of a serious.
Well, and the other picture here is like it's this one. It's kind of like down over her face a little bit and stuff like that. I'm like, this feels more like
Yeah.
this feels better than the other one. At least just for like, hey, you're going to be playing Aviendha.
Right. Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah. Looks cool. I'm excited. I think she'll be cool. Again, this is actually
I don't
neat.
know. I don't know anything about her. I know nothing about this
Yeah.
actress. I have to like look her up.
I pulled her up. It looks like she's in Juliet Naked, Killing Eve, Death in Paradise, and Trendy. I've not seen any of those.
I've seen Killing Eve.
Killing Eve. Okay. Yeah. So she's in
she's
that.
okay. So she's in a handful of episodes of that. She's in one, two.
Yeah.
She's in 5 episodes of Killing Eve. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she does. She's not in a lot total,
which is awesome. I think this is great. I love when they bring people forward like this and say, hey, let's find somebody who we want to put into this role. And this is probably going to be a big role for her, I think. So, and again, Aviendha is a fan favorite. I don't.
I will say she is. I think, I don't know though. I go back and forth on all 3 of them, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Aviendha in the books as much. I know people are like, I swear to God, but it's Min for me. I love Min. Min is awesome. And Elayne, I don't know, kind of out on Elayne too. I'm just a Min guy.
Well, it's just because at first she's sort of like, God, I can't do anything. I don't know,
Yeah.
But I would say that the problems with Elayne early on are the problems that like all of the girls have. And that, they're consistently getting captured every 2 seconds.
They're going to
like every 2 seconds they're captured.
They're going to have to fix that. And again, according to them, Matt, they weren't captured, which is what they tell Matt, right? We had this under control. And Matt's like, no, hold on a second. Didn't I just rescue you guys? And they're like, no. So
we're into book 6 in the podcast, and they've been captured once per book. If
at
not
least.
Twice. Yeah, at least.
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good point. We'll have to see how they handle all of that, because I'm trying to think if there's any major element that might come forward. Did Rafe say they're only going to be up through book 3? I don't know if he mentioned book 4 or not, if he said they were going to go beyond that, but because that for me would be interesting if they based on the number of episodes, if he has to do something pretty wild with like Gabriel in Camelin.
Right.
Does he have to start thinking that far ahead? And will he? So Catherine has a comment up here too as well. I agree. More unidentified dark friends. They did that with Matt in season 1. Is he or isn't he? Type of thing. So I think keeping us guessing is interesting. And that's the Forsaken. That's the element. So right now you had this fear factor in terms of the dragon and Logain, but he's been gentled. You had the Dark One, and you build up the Dark One's army and all these different things and the mystery of it. Someone also said that we might have to do some teaching. Here we go. The Greens, said this as well. Yeah, we got to do some teaching about the magic system to the audience. Aviendha could be a great part of that. I think that's true. White Tower stuff. And along with that, introducing an element of surprise, that being, I think, the Forsaken. We've got to see his lieutenants, his generals, his the Dark Ones, commanders come back. And
do we have the Dark Friend social in season 2 to start?
That would be cool. That would be cool. I think if you did that, you can plant even more than what was actually there in the books. They do kind of spoilers here, like a Jacob Carradine. They do Inktar there. They have a couple other individuals who are at the Dark Friend social, but I think you can put more there, and especially with the visual component, we can see people who are dressed in different garment or whatever, and then be kind of wondering, well, who are they, and where might we see them? Let's say they have a completely different uniform, but they're wearing a special necklace or pendant that's important to them, and that's like a clue, a breadcrumb that we can then see later on. We see another, barkeep or somebody else working, an innkeeper, with that same pendant, and we realize, oh shoot, that's actually one of those, Dark Friends who's at the social look out for that person. But on the first watch, you might not catch it. I like that kind of stuff. I like when they leave those when they put those layers in there. So
Yeah.